Admiral Zexathara adjusted his ceremonial battle crown as the Corvanian Imperial fleet emerged from hyperspace at the edge of the Sol system. 2,000 ships, each bristling with plasma cannons and void torpedoes, formed perfect attack formations against the star-speckled darkness. This would be another routine conquest for the Empire. Their scouts had reported a primitive species called humans, inhabiting the third planet, barely capable of interplanetary travel. Status report, Zexathara commanded from his flagship's bridge, his four eyes gleaming with anticipation. All vessels in position. Admiral, replied Commander Velcon. Enemy defensive capabilities appear minimal. We detect approximately 40 orbital platforms and scattered debris that might be defensive satellites. The Admiral's mandibles clicked in amusement. 40 platforms against 2,000 ships? These humans were either incredibly brave or impossibly foolish. Begin the assault. Standard protocol. Eliminate orbital defenses first, then commence planetary bombardment. We'll have this world catalogued and ready for colonization within the cycle. But as the Imperial fleet began its advance, something peculiar happened. The humans' pathetic 40 platforms suddenly multiplied. Admiral, Velcon's voice carried a note of confusion. Sensors are detecting additional human vessels. Many additional vessels. Zexathara's primary eyes narrowed. How many additional? I'm not certain, sir. The numbers keep changing. On the tactical display, what had appeared to be empty space around Earth was now revealing itself to be anything but empty. Ships uncloaked in waves, sleek angular vessels that seemed to bend light around their hulls. First hundreds, then thousands, then tens of thousands. This is impossible, breathed the Admiral. Our intelligence indicated they barely had spaceflight capability. Sir, the communications officer interrupted. We're receiving a transmission from Earth, audio only, in our language. Put it through. A distinctly human voice, calm and almost conversational, filled the bridge. Attention Corvanian Imperial Fleet. This is Admiral Sarah Chen of the Earth Defense Consortium. You are trespassing in human-controlled space. You have 30 seconds to reverse course and withdraw, or we will consider your presence an act of war. Zexathara's four eyes blinked in astonishment. These primitives dared to threaten the mighty Corvanian Empire? Open a channel, he snarled. Human, you face the full might of the Corvanian Imperial Fleet. 2,000 ships carrying the Emperor's justice. Surrender now, and your deaths will be swift. A pause. Then almost sadly, Admiral, you seem to be under a misconception. You don't face 2,000 ships. You face 12. 12? Zexathara's mandibles clicked rapidly. You mock us with your 12 human ships, Admiral. The rest are automated defense drones. You see, we learned something important about warfare a few centuries ago. Sometimes quantity has a quality all its own. Computer, display current defensive array status. The tactical screen lit up like a constellation. What the Corvanians had assumed was empty space now revealed a three-dimensional web of interconnected defense platforms, automated fighters, and weapon satellites stretching throughout the entire system. Millions of them. You see, Admiral, the human continued conversationally, we've been spacefaring longer than your scouts reported. We've also been watching you for quite some time. Your empire has a predictable pattern: scout, assess, attack. Very linear thinking. Commander Velcon's voice was barely a whisper. Sir, tactical analysis suggests we're outnumbered approximately 10,000 to 1. Humans, Admiral Chen continued, have a saying. If you want peace, prepare for war. We've been preparing for a very long time. Every asteroid mining operation doubles as a weapons platform. Every communications satellite carries defensive capabilities. Every seemingly harmless probe watching your borders has been gathering intelligence on your tactics, your technology, your weaknesses. The first wave of human drones struck before Zexathara could respond. Not the flashy energy weapons the Corvanians expected, but simple kinetic projectiles moving at significant fractions of light speed. The mathematics were brutally simple. Mass times velocity equals devastation. Corvanian shields designed to deflect energy weapons proved useless against chunks of accelerated metal. Ships that had conquered a dozen worlds simply ceased to exist, vaporized in brilliant flashes of released energy. Impossible, Zexathara muttered. Our technology is superior. Our weapons, your weapons are impressive, Chen acknowledged as more Corvanian vessels disappeared from the tactical display. But you're thinking like an empire, centralized, hierarchical, predictable. Humans think like a swarm, distributed, adaptive, overwhelming. The slaughter continued for exactly 4 minutes and 37 seconds. When it ended, the Corvanian Imperial fleet, the pride of an empire spanning 12 star systems, was nothing but expanding clouds of superheated gas and twisted metal. Admiral Zexathera's flagship, kept intact by surgical precision, floated alone in the debris field. "Admiral," came Chen's voice, now carrying a note of what might have been sympathy, "you're the only survivor because we want you to be. Return to your Emperor. Tell him what you've seen. Tell him that humans don't conquer, we defend. But we defend very, very well. This is impossible," Zexathera whispered. "You were primitives, barely spacefaring. Admiral, we've been to our nearest star for over 4 centuries. We've been fighting wars for millennia. We've been preparing for this moment since we first looked up at the night sky and wondered who else was out there. The only mistake your empire made was assuming we'd be easy prey." A pause. Then, "Oh, and Admiral, those 12 human ships I mentioned, they never moved. We handled your entire fleet with automated systems. The humans are still having breakfast." As Zexathera's damaged flagship limped away from the Sol system, he carried with it a message that would reshape the Corvanian Empire's understanding of warfare. Never assume the small. Blue-green planet's inhabitants are as primitive as they appear. Earth continued its lazy rotation around its star, its defenders returning to their morning routines, while 10,000 automated systems quietly resumed their eternal watch.